So I would like to have Jackie Cilley come up for a couple minutes. This was an unexpected pleasure.
Well, thank you very much, but I came for dinner, I came to the park, I came to visit.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. And so, was there anything in particular that...
Tell us what you're up to.
Oh, well, it's not about what I'm up to, actually. I think I'll talk about the state. But just on a quick note, you can't vote for me, unfortunately. And I'm sorry about that. I am running for the House, however, for Barrington, because policy in this state just means way too much to me. And so I want to be in there, in the battle. What I'd like to tell you about is just a couple of quick facts that you really should be armed with as you're talking to your friends, family, neighbors, and co-workers. More than half of the Republican candidates, who, by the way, many of whom really want Bill O'Brien back, despite what you said, Kevin, they love him, and his lack of civility wasn't strong enough. They'd like to see it stronger. So over half of these candidates have signed the Americans for Prosperity Pledge. This is, you know, Governor Thompson's pledge amplified by 5. So it's no higher taxes or fees, the right to work for less, repeal of Reggie, the repeal of health care for 50,000 of our citizens, and I forgot the last one. There's 5 in there. Oops, yes, oops. But those 4 were enough to get your blood boiling. Did anybody see the numbers for primary day?
Yes.
Okay. So less than 20% came out to vote. There were approximately 43,000 Democrats, and there were 124,641, give or take, Republicans. That's 3-to-1. That disparity has not been seen since 1962. Over 50 years. Now, a lot of folks said to me, but Democrats didn't have primaries going on. They didn't have a lot going on. I can tell you that one of the biggest predictors of general election turnout is what happened in the primary. Those people who came out in the primary are coming back in the general election. If we do not boost our numbers, Bill O'Brien is back, that agenda is back, and all of those points of the Americans for Prosperity Pledge are back. We have so much at stake right now. And here's one thing that you can tell your friends, neighbors, and family, and independents and Republicans, rational Republicans. Explain to them, as I'm doing to every citizen in Barrington that I talk to, that every time we cut at the state level, that does not mean the cost goes away. It rolls right down onto our property taxes. So that 4.2 cents per gallon that you heard folks talk about, not only did the overall price of gas on Labor Day was the lowest it had been in 4 years, but in addition to that, Barrington got about $25,000 in additional grant money to help maintain our roads and bridges. Every one of you can check, if not with your town, because I suspect they have these numbers, with the local government center who can tell you exactly what the community you are living in or you want to serve got from that 4.2 cents a gallon. Now, had that not come in, that would have been on the property taxes. So the state sends back, is it 40%, Deb? Well, actually, Mary, you know this. Is it 40% or 60% of all state revenues go back to the towns? And revenue sharing, environmental grants?
It's an aggregate, it's tough to change it.
Okay, but it's almost half of everything in the state goes back to the town. So we can keep slashing at the state. We're going to pay for it in our property taxes, which you've already heard are the highest in the country. So share that with your friends and family and neighbors. And thank you very much for, and thank you for all the